Welcome to Raiders on the Record, the podcast featuring Hastings High School athletics. I'm Athletic Director Trent Hansen. My colleague Tim Hanneberg and I work together to bring you the stories of Raider sports. We are thrilled to share conversations with the athletes, coaches, and alumni that represent Raider Nation. Check back weekly and be sure to share this podcast with your friends in the Raiders Network.
Ty Bushinski is a 2022 Raider graduate. Throughout his high school career, he has competed in multiple sports, such as cross country, where he has been a two-time captain and earned all-conference, Nordic skiing, and track and field. Ty also excels outside of sports, where he holds a 4.0 G.P.A. while participating in the Spanish Honor Society, National Honor Society, Link Crew, Peer Helpers, Youth in Government, and FCA. Next year, Ty plans to attend either Northwestern University or the University of St. Thomas, where he plans to major in mechanical engineering and pre-law. Here we are with Ty Bushinski. Ty, just get a little background information on you. Let's start with a couple icebreaker questions. So the first one here is 3 of your favorite things. So you can pick 3 of your favorite movies, food, artist, author, or time of the year, or if you just want to pick 3 of those different categories and see your favorite one in each one, you can go for it.
For movie, I'll have to go Fast and Furious whole franchise. It's really good. And
9
then for
movies
food,
you're picking here. This was supposed to be 3 things. 1, and you went with 9. That's okay. Well, I'll allow
and
it
then
right now.
steak for food, and winter for season. I'm just, you reach a point during the summer when you're just hyped for winter, and I've reached that point.
Okay. You said steak for food?
Yo,
Okay. Awesome. Next one. If you had to go on a beach vacation or a mountain vacation, do you like sweet or salty foods? And do you prefer dogs or cats?
I'd go on a mountain vacation just to go snowboarding. And then salty snacks. Not a huge sweet guy, and definitely dogs.
Right on. Last one. What do you think 3 words are that describe you, Ty?
I'll go hardworking, caring, and conscientious.
Nice. I think you're the only one that's ever said that word. That's awesome. All right. So, like I said, those were little icebreaker questions. Now let's get back into your history here. You growing up. So, what's it look like, Ty Bushinski, growing up? Brothers, sisters, mom, dad. Are your parents, your grandparents originally from Hastings? Did you eventually move to Hastings? Just give us what that snapshot looked like of you growing up.
So my grandparents are around here, Hastings, Cottage Grove. I grew up in Cottage Grove till I was like 5. Then I moved here. I have a sister in 10th grade. She's 2 years younger than me. I started out going to kindergarten at Tilden. Then I went to McCullough for 1st grade, then Pinecrest for 2nd to 4th grade. And then, like we all did, Hastings Middle School for 5th through 8th. Do you want me to get into sports too?
Yeah, we
or
can
wait
get into
on that?
sports. Yeah. So when we kind of talk about sports on here, especially with an athlete in kind of in your shoes, I typically like to start them maybe your early sports memory and then the sports you did growing up, and usually maybe stop around 6th grade. That's when people get more serious into sports and start getting maybe into the JV or varsity levels in 7th and 8th grade. And if you weren't at that level either, that's okay. But we'll stop at about 6th grade, and then we'll go into 7th and 8th, and then we'll start up in 9th grade.
All right. So I kind of always played a little bit of baseball. I played Raider Nation 3rd through 6th grade. I ran track in middle school and cross country.
Wonderful. So then we get into 7th and 8th grade. And what sports did you continue with? Did you drop anything? Did you pick anything up? What did that look like for you in your sports journey?
So I continued with cross country. I ended up dropping track just to keep playing baseball through the middle school. And yeah.
All right. So then we get to 9th grade here, Ty. And let's go year by year in 9th grade. And then we'll talk about each season, every sport you played, and then any other accomplishments that went along with each grade and each sport. So if you were all conference or all section or all state, even captain as well. So go through each year starting in your 9th grade fall season.
All right, so fall ninth grade, I actually didn't play any sports. I was worried that the workload would be way too much going into high school. I don't know what I was thinking. I would have been perfectly fine, but I didn't do, yeah, I did nothing. And then we go into winter, nothing. And then I wanted to do either baseball or track during the spring. I just could not decide, and I decided to go with track, and that was a good decision.
Nice. Then we get to 10th grade here. And then did you pick up any sports in the fall? Did you realize your mistake there? And then continue on from there?
Yep. So I started cross country, 10th grade again. Uh, Ran some good times. It was real fun. And then I had so much fun. I ended up doing Nordic skiing, 10th grade during the winter, just to kind of keep up the cardio and everything. And then I did track again. So that was just a really fun year. Obviously, track that year kind of fell apart with COVID, but still a great year.
Nice. So we get into junior year and let's go from there.
All right. So I did cross country again. Um, I was a captain that year. I was all conference. I got the MVP award, and I decided not to do Nordic that year because of the huge time commitment. It was just really hard. We would have to drive out to like Highland every day for practice, which is 45 minutes away. It was big. And then I did track that year. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice. And I know we'll get into eventually here, but you have an extremely high GPA. You're a 4.0 right now. So when people hear that this big time commitment, that junior year, a lot of people don't know about this. That's when a lot of kids like you, Ty, start taking a lot of AP classes, and the time commitment at school and your schoolwork definitely increases. So you recognize that with the winter season and just took something off, and that's okay. Uh, so a lot of people don't know about that, but like I said, they're going to get to know more about you here in a second. So 12th grade, then you're in your senior year right now. Let's
Yep.
hear about the sports you played here in 12th grade.
So I'm in cross country right now, running some really fast times. Hopefully do good at sections, possibly go to state. I don't know. We'll see. Uh, I'm thinking about doing Nordic this year. I'm not totally sure yet. Definitely gonna do track. Yep.
What events do you do for track then? Has it switched over the years, or you kind of just stick with the same thing every single year, or you kind of get into different things every single year? What does that look like?
I kind of stick with the same events. I'm a long distance guy, so mile, 2 mile, maybe the occasional 800 in there.
Nice. Any field events or anything?
Nope,
That's all
nothing.
right. Nice. What about a little more about you? Like I said, we talked about schoolwork as well. So I know you're really into schoolwork. And like I said, you have a 4.0 GPA. Let's talk about other clubs and activities that you're in. You're in a lot of different things outside of sports. And then you can go into any other just interests that you have outside of sports as well.
Okay, so at school, I was a Spanish club official. Uh, Now I'm just part of Spanish club. I'm a National Honor Society member, Spanish Honor Society member, a link crew leader, peer helper. I do youth in government. I was really involved in that for a few years till COVID hit. I'm also part of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Um, yeah, I think I got it all. And then outside of school, I'm really into cars. Rebuilding cars with my dad is a big hobby of mine. It's what I like to do in my free time.
Nice. You are a senior. We already mentioned that a couple times. Let's talk about future plans that you have next year in college. I know a lot of people are unsure about what they're doing. Let's hear about what you're thinking right now, and then maybe thinking for a major as well.
So right now I'm thinking I want to go to Northwestern in Chicago or University of St. Thomas here in Minnesota to major in mechanical engineering, and then later maybe go into pre-law and get a law degree to do a patent attorney.
Nice. That's really cool. I didn't know that about you. You never mentioned that before. Did you just
Yeah.
recently think about that, or
Oh,
where
that's
that
kind of like the youth and government side of me, the whole lawyer part.
cool? So, Mr. Hanson, our athletic director, loves to ask us coaches why we coach. So flipping that around on you, Ty, you've played a lot of different sports over your high school career and growing up as well. Why do you think you play sports? What attracted you to sports, and what do you really get out of sports?
So for me, I think the big thing is just to have fun. It's a distraction from the daily grind, the daily schoolwork. Another big part is building relationships. Having that team bond is huge for me. And obviously just improvement too, just seeing my improvement over the course of seasons, over the course of years. It's really awesome.
For sure. You've played a couple different sports, track, Nordic, cross country. I'm sure you've had a lot of rewarding experiences. If you could break this next question up into two different parts, that'd be awesome. So, what do you think your best or your most rewarding thing has been participating in sports at Hastings High School? And then the second one is your favorite moment. So, first one is your most rewarding experience, and the second one is your favorite moment as a Raider athlete.
I think the most rewarding experience is every time you come across the finish line and you PR. That's just the feeling is awesome. And then best experience would probably be sections at Owatonna last year. Nolan Myers, that was his last race. It was sad, but it was so fun. Just be with him knowing, I mean, it was sad knowing it was his last race, but just he was there and it's awesome.
Nice. This is another question that Mr. Hansen loves to ask all the coaches here at Hastings High School. What do you think success means to you, and how do you measure success?
For me, it's having fun and becoming a better person, building character and building, having that grit and the work ethic to just keep pushing when things get hard.
Nice, for sure. All right, switching gears a little bit here. You've played a couple different sports, like we've mentioned numerous times now. You've had a lot of different coaches throughout your elementary and middle school and high school career. And this might be hard to tack down, and you could pick a couple different coaches if you have one in each sport you played as well. So, who do you think that best coach that you've played for or run for is? And what's something that they taught you, something, a lesson they taught you, something that really stuck with you that you kind of apply to your life every day?
I think the most influential coach I had was probably Coach Cook. He's the track coach, and to him, the way we perform isn't what it's all about. It's all about building character. I mean, there's performance is part of it because you're building your work ethic and your grit, but he wanted to build us into people, or he wants to build us into people who can be respectful, responsible, and caring adults and very hardworking. Yeah.
Wonderful. You've already mentioned Nolan Myers, but you've had a lot of different teammates and a lot of different teams. So, who do you think that most valuable teammate is? And once again, you could pick someone in different sports that you played along the way with. So, this could be someone that really challenged you, someone maybe that brought the best out of you, someone that really picked you up when you were feeling kind of down, an upperclassman that you kind of looked up to and modeled your style or your work ethic after. So, who do you think that most valuable or one of your best teammates is as well?
I would have to say Nolan Myers again. He showed me what true leadership is. He always put everything he had out on the course, never making any excuses. It was just he's a very wise and powerful dude who he should be remembered.
For sure. I definitely see that too. He was a former guest on this podcast last year. So how about that, Ty? Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Next one then for you, Ty. And once again, you could take this in a couple different ways. You could pick a sport. You could pick multiple teams if you really wanted to for each of the sport you play. It's a kind of cool question because all the different sports that we interview, all the different coaches or athletes, this question is always really different. So what do you think a particular opponent or a particular opponent you really like playing against is? Someone that you really maybe circled on the calendar every single year, someone that really brought the best out of you. So who do you think that opponent is? And once again, it could be different schools for different sports that you played.
Okay, so for me, I would say St. Thomas, like just running against St. Thomas, because last year they had some pretty fast runners who were right up with me, and we were kind of always back and forth in the placing. and just kind of seeing where they placed this year and where I placed among them shows me the improvement that I've made, the improvement that they've made, and how we compare. And another thing, like probably not even a team thing, is just I really like running flat courses because it helps to show you where you're at. There's no hills or anything to slow you down. It's the best way to internally know where you're at.
Nice. Last one then here about kind of your influences or different people and different things that have helped you out. So talk about your improvement process, Ty. You're talking about right now, your times are really kind of crashing right now, or in a good way. I mean, your times are going down throughout cross country, and I'm sure you've improved from year to year to year. So talk about your improvement process. How are you still doing that well in cross country and in track? You're improving year on year, race by race, and then as well tie it into your academics as well. Like I said, you're 4.0. You're in a bunch of college level classes. You've taken tens of over 10 probably AP classes throughout your high school career so far. So how do you balance that workload and then improvement process at the same time?
Okay, so for me, it's always practicing, doing all the workouts, making the time for them, whether it's a track workout or a long run, just doing it the way it was meant to be done. Also, Nordic had a huge impact on my times. Just it was a lot of cardio that wasn't a lot of impact on your legs. So, and D will always stresses how that's good because you don't want to destroy your legs. And then I tie it or my workload and everything. It's honestly really hard to balance, and I often find myself staying up really late to get all my stuff done. But it's honestly what I want because I want to get better. I want to do better in school. I want to do better on the courses. It's what makes me happy. And there's, I don't see it a different way. Like, it's just who I am.
Wonderful. Last couple questions then for you, Ty. All of your experiences kind of coming together. If you had to give parents and coaches two pieces of advice from your experiences as a Hastings athlete, what do you think those two pieces of advice would be and why?
So I would say to coaches that, I mean, a lot of coaches probably already do this, but focus on character. That's one of the big things that we strive for here at Hastings High School is just that impact on character that sports have and turning us into people who can be really successful in the real world. We have so much going for us also that affects our everyday lives and that can affect our performance every day. So don't look at one performance, look at a whole season. And I mean, being a peer helper, I see all the things that affect people's lives, and there's a lot of them. So
Wonderful. Any advice for parents?
for parents, I would say support your student athletes because that support goes a long ways. It's a lot of motivation, and just having that bond with your parent that they know how you're doing and they talk to you about it. It's really awesome. It really helps to keep you going, and it even helps in school, like keeps your parent asking more questions and all that. So feel more connected. It's awesome.
Excellent. Last one then for you, Ty. Same kind of question, but for uh, other student athletes. So if you could give two pieces of advice for younger student athletes from your experiences, what would they be and why?
I would say hard work beats talent because I mean, we see this a lot in high school. I feel that all the talented people who aren't working hard to keep up their skills often fall behind. And it's the people who really are willing to put forth the effort and the work that it takes to get to the top that get there. And then also just have fun because it goes so fast. I remember it feels like yesterday I was walking onto the track. Uh, I can't even, or like, I was walking onto the track and just running my first mile in high school. Just goes so fast. It's crazy.
For sure. I definitely agree with you. So, Ty, that's all the questions I got for you. The mic is yours here for the last couple minutes. Anything I forgot to ask you? Any other shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to talk about it that I didn't ask you? You can go for it right now.
I want to give a shout out to all the student athletes in our school because we go through so much and it's so much work to balance our school and our lives and these sports. And it builds, like, as I've been saying this whole time, it builds so much character and it's super valuable. It can have a huge influence in your life. And it sets you up for success.
Nice. Ty, I really appreciate this. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.